Hello, people of the internet. Welcome back to Intensive Treatment, the best podcast in the world whenever it relates to the universe that we call Ham.
Man, Ham, Aslam.
Manham Aslam. There's also Manham City, or T, Manham T.
Would Origins be
Manham.
just called Manham Gin?
That's what I had in my head too. Manhead Gins.
Gins. And then Manham.
Ite. Zite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly my experience with the game. It's Ite.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back again after giving you guys a long list of content that you guys seem to enjoy. So we're back to give you another piece of content that we hope you enjoy.
How long ago did we record that? That had to have been like weeks or so.
Record what? The
last string of episodes, because we did a whole bunch of them like together.
Yeah, it must have been a couple weeks.
So,
but hey, we're sticking to this schedule. It seems to be like you guys are liking the schedule. So we're gonna stick with Wednesdays and Fridays for now. We're glad you guys are enjoying it. But we're back again to talk about something that we've talked about before. I believe we did an intensive treatment on this before it was released, if I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
let's see. We did an intensive treatment when it was formally announced.
And then episode 34 is the history of Arkham and Nintendo. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we glazed over that a little bit.
Yeah, that was before it came out. That was just kind of like, I guess we made that as a like a predecessor, or at least like as a tie-in or so. Because I think it was just before it came out, or at least it was like just before. Or actually, no, I'm lying. It was before it got delayed, and then but we still put it out anyway because that's what we do.
Good.
Yeah, of course. So but we never made a full dedicated video about Arkham Trilogy, the game itself. So we're here today. I know this has been months in the making, but we're finally here. We're doing this, and I was originally going to just record this video by myself because Swifty here does not have a Nintendo Switch. He has a copy of the game, which I gave him, but he does not have a Nintendo Switch. So he can't speak on his experiences.
I cannot. So anything that I say is either based off of gameplay I've seen or just going off of what Marvel's saying. So this video predominantly is going to be Marvel discussing the game, and I'm going to be here talking to him about it, but I'm more so listening as someone from the outside waiting to play it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at here. So I'm kind of, if you haven't played the game yet and you're here to listen, then you're in my shoes. So welcome to the club.
Yeah, feel free to ask me anything if you have any certain questions or like anything about the games themselves. I've been playing them recently, just because I play Arkham on pretty much everything, and I haven't had the time to really sit down with the Switch version. So I've been going through each of the games. I fully played through Asylum, fully played through City. I'm on my playthrough of Night right now. I haven't gotten too far. I've gotten to till about like when you first meet Penguin and stuff, but I've been also doing a bunch of side missions in between. So got to get those skill points to get those upgrades.
Get those Batmobile upgrades so you can take out the greatest boss fight of all time, Deathstroke, in Arkham Knight.
What a
forget I said that,
loser. Anyway, so but we're just gonna dive right into it. So So I think, like me, you were excited when this got announced. We'll just do a quick overview of its history
Yeah,
before we get into the game itself. So you were
yeah.
excited about this.
I was very excited.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, Having the whole trilogy together in one set for a Nintendo platform that could barely run one of those games. But the other
yeah.
two were like, I don't know. It was a weird thing when it was announced because it was just like, Asylum City. Everybody was like, okay, great. Like, that, it works fine, whatever. And then the question that was on everyone's mind, which was just, what is Night going to do? Or how is it going to react to being on a Nintendo Switch? Because we've seen in the past with a lot of other games, especially when they don't know like how to port it to a downgraded console. Usually it doesn't work out when you put that game type of game on a Switch. So
And
it was
also,
a
guys, remember this was a game that couldn't even run on PC when it first got released.
yeah.
So now they're trying to put it on a handheld device. So yeah, but continue.
Yeah. That was the biggest like just hurdle for the longest time, and it was probably a good thing that for most of its marketing, it didn't show the Switch version at all, or if it did, it just showed pre-rendered footage from other platforms.
Right.
I think they were trying to avoid having another like MK11/MK1 debacle where upon launch it was just like an absolute hot garbage mess. Like if you like I bring up MK1 specifically because it's just like if you look at the comparisons between that and the PS4, PS5 and Xbox Series X versions, it is
Mhm.
like atrociously terrible. And I don't know how
Yeah.
anybody thought that was okay to put that out on the market for full price.
Yeah. Well, WB did.
And usually WB makes the worst decisions, as I
Yeah.
mean, we saw recently
Say the least.
with Suicide Squad. So
Yeah.
yeah, but but yeah, up until launch, like for most of it, I was like, okay, yeah, pretty excited. I wonder what new stuff they're gonna add, or how much, like how full of a package this really is gonna be. Um, And we got some little surprises before launch, uh, like the armored suit from Arkham City Armored Edition. They were adding that back in. That was pretty cool. It got delayed by a couple months, which was like, I guess, like at the time it was like, okay, yeah, October was already a stacked month, so I
Mhm.
guess it makes sense to kind of push it off a little bit so it doesn't,
Yeah.
uh, compete with Spider-Man 2 or
Right.
like the other 700 games that were coming out that month.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
and then the Pattinson suit got leaked. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was I thought it was more funny than it was intriguing because I was just like, man, modders did it better. It looks fine, but everyone was doing it, and I remember trying to get it on my Xbox and I couldn't. But um, it was just really funny to see Twitter blow up, and they're like, "This is what they're giving us. This." But what were your thoughts when that got leaked? Because I thought it was kind of funny, and it was just Arkham's luck to get that leaked and actually playable for a little while.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was just um well, my immediate reaction was just like, no, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. And then I was just watching gameplay of it because some people you know got like maybe a couple hours of footage and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, it's not terrible. It's some textures are like, you know, super pixelated and, the collar like clips into Batman's neck whenever he uses his hologram device. But like, I was like, maybe this is stuff that they could fix before launch, but like, I don't know. At the same time, this was also just kind of one of those like, get it done sort of deals. Have a small team work on a, Battinson skin and just have it out for whatever release that they were pushing. So I was like, okay. at least, it might not look the greatest, but also at the same time, we're lucky that we even got it in the first place, so I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. It's not
Yeah.
like
It's not
I enjoy
it's not hor
using it.
it looks a lot worse in the showcase than it does in the actual game.
It does, and I enjoy using it. It's fun to be Battinson for a little while, if you will.
It's sad that only just now we've gotten the Batmobile mod to go along with it.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen that, I just saw it today, or last night. Marvel sent it to me, and I watched it. It's awesome. It's really well done. And I saw all the comments like I had all my hopes up, and then I saw mod, and I was like, nope. It is a shame that it has to be a mod, and we can't actually get the Batmobile. But the mod is probably honestly better than anything that they would have given us.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out, guys.
Yeah, because if they'd gone out of their way to actually make one, you wouldn't be able to use it for most of the game because you'd be too busy dealing with, you know, bombs on the road, tank stuff, like all the malicious stuff you'd have to do first before using it.
Yeah,
So it'd be a little bit of a waste, but also like, you know, it's uh, it's something. So yeah, like I said, I'm not mad about them just giving us a skin. At least we got a Battinson skin before Rock City moved on to Suicide Squad. I
yeah,
bet you that, there was some call that came in at WB's offices that was just like, you know, we got this, Arkham port coming to Nintendo Switch. The higher ups want us to do a Robert Pattinson skin to go along with it. Make it in like 3 months,
yeah,
and that's it.
yep,
So we had all that hype for months on end, and then the trilogy launched on it was like December 2nd or something like that. It was like the very
yeah.
early December. And boy, it was not received well. It was
No,
not good.
I
It was
was
not
I
good
was
at all.
everything I was hoping wouldn't happen, and it happened.
The saddest part for me is as somebody who actually played these games on the Switch, most of like most of the criticism was aimed towards Knight, obviously. It's
Yeah,
not to say that the others didn't have their issues, but everybody made it sound like this collection was like, oh, it's the worst thing ever, don't play it, it's unplayable, like don't buy it. I'm just like, you're still like, even if Arkham Knight's, terrible, which it wasn't that great. Um like you're still getting two pretty kick-ass Batman games.
right. Regardless,
Yeah. Are you still spending full price? Yes, which is kind of ludicrous,
it is.
but 2 out of 3 games ain't bad.
Because wasn't Return to Arkham, that wasn't even full price. That was like $40.
Yeah, that was discounted,
Yeah,
which is what
they
they
should
should
have
have
done
done for
that.
this, especially when they knew that, Knight was launching in that state. I wouldn't have gone and put it for like, $70, $80, whatever.
Right,
Just get all that cash money. I just would have been like $40, $50. Like, have it at that. Because
right,
then it at least doesn't sting as much compared
exactly.
to compared to what we did get.
Yeah, it's like, well, we gave you a game that's kind of half baked, but at least you get it almost half priced.
Mhm.
So, and then I feel like the backlash wouldn't have been as severe.
Yeah, instead it was just, it's WB does what WB does best, which is scam their
Right.
consumers.
Damn their consumers. Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself, bro.
Yeah, so yeah, it came out and then quickly was just forgotten about because everybody was too busy hating on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's true.
But well, now we're bringing it back. We've decided to bring it back into the limelight. And since then it has gotten some patches for each game, so it's like a little bit more stable on each front. But Knights is the worst because it's like Knight was already a beefy game to download anyway, but it's
Yeah.
also another 16 gigabytes of an update. Like, it is
That's crazy.
atrocious. So, if you're buying a Nintendo Switch, and if you plan on playing each of these games, I don't know why you would play Knight on Switch, but that's your prerogative. That's what you do. Buy a hefty micro SD card to go along with your Switch
Yeah,
because
how much storage is on a Switch generally?
not much, not
Okay.
not a whole lot. I think I have the box right here, so let me check real quick.
Yeah, let's see here. Guys, see, this is what's great about the Intensive Treatment Podcast. You're getting live footage of us going through our belongings.
It's a good thing I didn't throw this box out when I did.
And I'm assuming Asylum and City are not anywhere near that much.
No. So the console itself, or at least I have the base. I don't have an OLED or anything. It's
Right.
32 gigabytes on the
Okay.
console. So basically nothing.
Yeah. That's like a full game on Xbox One.
So like I tried just for shits and giggles. I tried to download each of the 3 games,
Mhm.
and like I got Asylum and City, but it wasn't even enough to have it wasn't enough for Night to be on my base Switch. Like
Right.
I needed an SD card just to get the full
Did you
game.
end up getting a separate one, or did you just kind of delete the others and play Night?
Um, I bought my I think I bought my SD card from Best Buy, and I was
Okay.
just like I got that extra storage just so I could have not only Night on there, but also just some extra space for whatever other games I decided to play.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, geez, I don't remember how much Night. It's a lot though. It's a lot of storage, and
Yeah,
plus
it's
that
more than it
extra
should be.
16 gigabyte patch just to make it all like much more stable.
Yeah.
So that's just absolutely ludicrous. So I will state once more, and I cannot make this apparent enough. If you buy a Nintendo Switch to play this game, be sure to buy a micro SD card, and so you have the space to have all 3 games together. Like, I cannot state
Disclaimer.
that enough. That is a huge disclaimer. So, but anyway, let's actually get into the games themselves.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll tell you from some experiences and things to kind of look out for. So, starting with Asylum, the GOAT, our favorite Arkham game.
Yeah.
Um, so for the most part, uh, firstly, it's the original version. It's not the Return to Arkham nightmare mess.
Thank
So
God.
you won't have to deal with like constipated Batman or uh, super bright Asylum, rainy outdoors, or like just a complete lack of color. It's the original version, just as you remember it on a cartridge. That's the thing about the collection too, is that Asylum is on the cartridge outright. The other 2 games you have to download separately.
Hey, I won't complain.
Yeah. So if you really wanted to, you could just if you don't want to play the others, you can just delete those and play Asylum by itself, and
Yeah.
you should be fine. Um. So yeah, it's the original Asylum. Everything is all and accounted for. All the DLC is included, so including the PlayStation 3 content. So Joker's included. Um, Also, those extra challenge maps that we've talked about in a separate video, those
Mhm.
are also there too. So
Beautiful.
is, for the most part, the complete Asylum package as you remember it. Um, the only thing that bugged me on my I've done 2 playthroughs of Asylum on Switch, is that
Mhm.
the performance is a little choppy.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
What's something that's, like, super noticeable? Is it just kinda, like, dips in and out, and it's just not very consistent?
The thing that I noticed the most was whenever you're entering a new area, like anytime you open through a door or go through a ventilation duct or like a
Right.
ventilation grate or something, that's when I noticed that like for a couple seconds there, the game might just kind of like spatter a bit, might dip in frames and just kind of, kind of shit the bed there for a second. It's not like every time or so. It might skip out a couple times and, work as normally as usual. But for the
Right.
most part, it's pretty consistent
Yeah.
when it comes to, those dips. But it's nothing that's too distracting, or at least for me,
Mhm.
it wasn't. After a while, it was just, business as usual, but it was more so like the first like going through the intensive treatment itself. That's when I that's when it was at its most noticeable. And then
Right.
but like as the game kept going, I was just like, it's fine. Other than
Yeah.
that though, it's just like, Asylum as usual, but that's the only thing to really look out for is just those depths, which I don't think have been patched out yet.
Really?
I don't even know if those studios still working on this game. I
I know,
think
I was
they've
gonna
just quit
say.
and moved on because
Yeah.
it's been like maybe that last patch came out what, February? So it's been months. So I don't know if they're still working on Night. Well, we'll get to Night's issues later,
Yeah.
um but yeah, I don't think they're working on it anymore.
Okay.
So it's not, I don't know. Asylum on Switch, it's not my ideal way to play the game, but it's not a bad way to play the game either. I'd rather play that than touch Return to Arkham ever
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So,
I can imagine that I would probably feel the same way.
but like if you're going on a car ride or something like that, I think yeah, it's great. It's great to bring along Asylum and just to have something to play in the background. So,
Mhm.
but let's move on to Arkham City because this was the game that I felt was gonna be the most like, it was the one I was looking forward to the most besides Night,
Right.
um, and it's weird to say it, but it's somehow better than Asylum on Switch, like,
Wow.
performance-wise. Performance is, like, pretty much pitch perfect.
Wow.
There were no massive, like, dips that I noticed. There wasn't anything that was out of place that, caught my eye for the like, it was like popping in City on my 360, like, it was just pretty much smooth sailing the entire time.
Mhm.
So, and, just like before, all the DLC is there, and, for those people that missed out on the Armored Edition for the Wii U, that suit is included, uh, in your game, so if you wanna do the cheat code to get the skins and stuff, you can use that one right away,
Mhm.
which, I think, like, with the animated series skin, it will change Catwoman too, so she has hers, and, you both can armor yourselves up, but otherwise, it's just a cosmetic. There's no BAT mode, there's no, special features or anything if you use it. It's just carbon copy, like just a cosmetic, which
Right.
is a little bit of a shame because I was really hoping they'd add the BAT mode back in, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's not the case. So it's not the true armored suit, but it is good enough, I'd say.
that's
Also, the
cool.
other DLC and stuff is there too if you want to mess around with that. Harley Quinn's
Yeah,
Revenge, the challenge map pack, Robin and Nightwing. Um, but yeah, otherwise it's just pretty much it's pretty much city as you remember it. And it's probably like it's actually a really good way to play city, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I had a
Have
great time
you
going through it.
have you played it on the go yet, or have you just kind of played it at home so far?
I've played it. So most of my playtime with these games have been um on the Switch itself, not hooked up to a TV. So
Right.
I've had a little bit of experience with it, like in public. Like I've taken my Switch out and messed around, and I had a lot of fun. Like I was messing around one day and I took it to a park and I was just like beating criminals up as Batman.
That's
So it is
awesome.
really fun to take with you. Uh, but yeah, to me it was pretty much City as I remembered it. And for my latest playthrough, I collected all the Riddler trophies as I was playing through the story, which usually I don't do. Usually I just save Riddler for last. And I was shocked how much fun I had doing that.
Now we
Or
know
how
what
much
to look for when you live stream City.
yeah. Yeah. So let's move on to Arkham Knight.
Here we go, guys. This is what you've all been waiting for, isn't it?
Oh my. Oh boy. So
I've been waiting for this. I'm getting my popcorn ready.
so compared to when it launched back in December and to now, Night on Switch is still a hot mess, but it's a slightly better hot mess than it was before. Um, and most of the issues that I've noticed when it comes to like the frame rate and stuff, most of what I've noticed is coming just from the Batmobile. So when you're just flying around, for the most part, like it's fine. It does dip a lot, but like when you're in the Batmobile, it is the absolute worst thing imaginable.
Still,
Just
it's still
chasing somebody
horrible.
just chasing somebody down is a Riddler puzzle in of itself.
And they made you pay full price for this, guys.
They
Don't
did.
don't forget.
They did. They made you
And they
pay full
still
price.
haven't fixed it, and they probably never will.
Yeah. The amount of issues I've seen people complain about online, like when the game like when it launched, there were Riddler trophies in certain spots that were just completely missing. So
Really?
you weren't able to collect them. And this is a problem that's even still the case now. Um, when you bring Riddler to the GCPD, the game just crashes outright. So you can't even finish his own side mission.
Wow.
It
That's
is that
bad.
it is that terrible where you cannot fully complete the game.
That's really bad.
Yeah. So if you're gonna play Night on Switch, don't even bother going after Riddler, or even 100% for that matter. Just grab whatever side missions you can get and then just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So
That's a shame, though. It's a waste of money and it's a waste of time at
yeah,
that
just
point.
remember the WB okayed this. WB
Yep.
okayed this to be put out for consumers to buy. So
They thought it was good enough.
they thought, yeah, they that's exactly that. They
Just
thought
like
it
they
was good
thought
enough,
Return to
and
Arkham was good enough.
when that clearly wasn't. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, if so far from my experience, like the biggest obstacles, I shit you not, is doing chases in the Batmobile and also using the power winch, surprisingly enough.
Hmm.
Because you know how usually you're able to control how much of the engine you use, like when you're revving it up. You can't do that on the Switch because
Huh.
it's just hard buttons. So,
Right.
um, so one click and you're just the gauge goes up more than it should. And um, the first time I did that when you have to power up the antenna and stuff, I almost I almost turned the game off at that point just because I was having so much trouble getting through that section alone. And so my plan now, whenever I have to rev the engine, is to just do like quick taps or whatever, just so I can
Mhm.
have it slowly go up. But otherwise, fuck that. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. That's just complete bullshit. Um uh yeah, everything else, like, it's just it looks terrible. Textures are all over the place. Some things are not even loaded in. Environments look terrible. Like the skyline is just pitch black. Like there's nothing to it at all. It is
Wow.
not a pretty looking game at all. It is a mess. It is an absolute mess of a port.
Horrible.
And the fact that WB greenlit this and consumers bought it. I'm an idiot. I bought 2 copies accidentally. So so I'm not saying I'm exempt or anything. I'm an idiot. But it's just I bet you, I
What?
remember when this launched and people were giving Turn Me Up Games, that's the guys who made this. They were
Mhm.
giving them so much shit because of this. It's just like, "Oh, they're a bad porting studio and all this and all that." And I'm like, "Do none of you do your research?"
Yeah.
Nobody does their research apparently. They worked on like 3 other ports. One of them was for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on Switch. They're just a Switch porting job. They
Mhm.
did what else they do? I think they did BioShock and
Okay.
they did an they did another one on blank. Borderlands. They did a Borderlands collection. And all
Mhm.
of those worked extremely well. So I bet you
It's
that
just
they had
WB.
yeah, they didn't have the time or probably not even the money to really make this work.
Yep.
And so I'm not blaming them at all.
We're
For the most
blaming.
part for the most part, they probably did some things which I don't agree with, but
Right.
most of the blame I'm just kind of shifting to WB as I, always do.
Right.
So, but
Who
it's gonna
else?
be it's to me it's gonna be a real shame if like if that studio closes down and this is the reason why they closed down.
Right.
So
All because of WB's asinine decision making.
yeah, but yeah, so far Night on Switch is not great, and I'm kind
Yeah.
of like I don't know. I want to play more of it to
Uh-huh.
see how much of a shit show it is, but also I
Yeah.
don't
Well, how far
because
are
it's
you in it right now again?
I just got up to the part where you have to meet up with the penguin for the first time.
Right. Okay.
So I haven't met up like I just literally the next objective is like talk to Nightwing and that's
Okay.
it. So, but I did a bunch of side missions before that. Like I did the Azrael stuff. I did right beforehand. I did the Racial Ghoul side mission, and so I was
Right.
accumulating upgrade points. At one, I opened my upgrade menu at one point. I had 41 upgrade points.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how much like side missions I was doing. I was just like getting all that money. Do you have any questions about Night on Switch, like, before we? Because I pretty much said my piece, so,
Yeah. I
uh
mean, well, one thing I would ask, and this isn't completely for me, but I would say for anyone who is thinking about buying this game, is it actually worth it if you use a Switch a lot?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Um, as someone who plays or did play a lot of Switch games back then, I think it's worth it, especially for people who haven't not yet experienced these games, but the only 2 caveats to that, I'd say, is don't play Night on Switch, whatever you do.
Yeah,
I know it's probably like, maybe I should don't play it on Switch. And also, do not buy it for its intended price. Wait for a sale. It's probably gonna be like, I bet you by the time we hit December of this year, it'll be like $30
probably.
for our co like, they're just gonna degrade it in price, and that's the perfect time to, like, buy it right off the shelves. As
Yep.
of now, no, fuck that. Do not buy it for $60 or more. It's not worth it.
How does it stack up to if you were to rate it? How does it stack up to the original ports and even the Return to Arkham um, remasters?
So, for I guess I'll go through one at a time.
Yeah,
Asylum would be, like, 7.5, I
on
think,
Switch.
on Switch, yeah.
Okay.
Um, because all the content's there, everything that is there, like, everything that we love is there, it's just, like, performance is
Yeah.
not the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
and it is kinda noticeable, so I'm
Right.
putting it down a peg. Um, City on Switch is, like, 9 out of 10, like, it is, like,
Great.
pretty much it is great. It is amazing on Switch.
And
I
I would
would
have,
I
like you
would do
said,
another playthrough now, like, I was just like,
it's
um
so interesting because, like you said earlier, it's like you'd expect Asylum to run the best because it has the least amount of crap to deal with.
yeah,
Um, but it makes me want to play it more. City, I mean, um, that you rate it that high because especially before launch, I would have never expected it to be even close to a 10.
mhm.
So
And
that's a good sign,
that's
especially
so
if
weird to
one.
say because the last time they put City on a Nintendo console, it was good, but, like, it didn't run the best. And if you wanna see a good example of this, watch my Twitch streams. I have a
Mm-hmm.
whole Twitch archive of me playing Arkham City Armor Edition, and it
That
doesn't run the greatest, so
yeah.
but,
At least you get to experience sort of the armored edition, at least the aesthetic of it.
sort of, yeah, a little bit.
So
I
that's
wish
kind of
that
cool.
I kinda wish though, like, because they have the pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff like that, I
Mhm.
wish that whenever you use the armored suit, it would switch over to those cutscenes, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's not the case.
yeah.
But otherwise, it's a nice, it's a nice extra, so,
Mhm.
um, but, as for Night,
That's off the
sh
board.
that shit's like a 4,
Oof. Take
3.5, something
taking
like
an already pretty bad game and just making it like 10 times
it's just
worse.
worse. Like,
And
yeah.
I'm in the group where it's like I kind of want to play it just to experience how terrible it is. Um, so I might just do
I
that.
bet you after 5 minutes, you're gonna turn it off and be like, "Man, that was such an eyesore." Like, I have a
Oh,
headache now after
probably.
playing that, so,
It'll probably like blow up my new Switch that I'll be buying.
yeah, it's just like,
Just start smoking.
"Well,
Okay, guys,
shit."
this is a live intensive treatment reaction playthrough of Arkham. Oh my god, it's blowing up!
Yeah,
So there you have it,
that
guys.
was bad. Yeah, there you go. That's our that's our episode. Um, just a little cautionary tale for those who decide to play this,
Yeah.
but,
I'm looking forward to playing it whenever I can. Um, obviously, mostly the first two.
need you to get a Switch, my boy,
I know. I'm trying.
and play it
I'm
together.
trying.
You just have your little, like, a piggy bank jar full of full of coins you're just saving up.
Just pennies. It's all pennies. I'm saving up the pennies.
Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. We're on
Yeah.
what, episode 49? 49?
Yeah.
Damn,
Next
damn,
up
damn,
is
damn.
50.
Next up is episode 50, and,
Yep.
we got something very special for everybody by the
Yeah.
time it comes out. I'm excited.
This Friday, guys, stay tuned for episode 50. It's going to be an exciting one.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any closing statements before we log off? Don't lie to me.
Buy Arkham Knight on PC, and that's so shocking to say because it was such a disaster when it launched. But yeah, play Arkham Knight on PC and also mod the ever loving shit out of it.
Get the Batman 2022 Batmobile mod, guys.
Yeah.
People are working wonders. Do you have anything going on your channel that you want to shout out before we close?
So I have my 250 subscriber celebration, which I haven't been able to capitalize on as of recently because, well, I had some personal issues that happened like a couple weeks ago, which I don't want to talk about. And also, I got sick last week. So I've been
Yes.
kind of recuperating and trying to get better. But
Guys,
hopefully,
he didn't just get sick. He actually sounded like he was dying.
yeah, it was bad. I had a huge migraine. I was like literally too weak to move. It was terrible. And then for like the last 4 days, it's just been like a nonstop cold. So you can kind of hear it in my voice right now. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
a little bit.
but I'm getting better. I'm slowly getting better. So hopefully here soon I can actually, get back to working on stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
What about you? Are you have any videos coming up?
Just did the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes review, so you guys should go check that out. I believe I'm doing a feature. This is not for my channel, but I'm doing a feature with Alterbrap, our mutual friend. He has co-hosted. Did he only co-host one intensive treatment or was it two?
Two.
He co-hosted two intensive treatment videos. We also do the Speaking Nerd podcast with him, so he's a good friend of ours. I'm going to be doing a Gotham Knights review video with him for a section of that. So stay tuned for that. You guys will know about it when it comes out. Other than that, not really anything for the Swifty channel, unfortunately, but I'm having a lot of fun just doing the intensive treatment stuff right now. And thank you guys so much for, sticking around and watching all the videos and liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. We just hit 75 subs the other day, so it's pretty awesome. And our Arkham pre-alpha build hit almost 1.5k. That's pretty incredible. So, thank you guys so much. We'll have to make a dedicated video to our patrons, our Patreon users. We should totally
Our patience.
our patients. Yeah, not Patreon. You don't owe us any money. You owe us your time of day so that we can do intensive treatment things to you.
Have you clinically tested?
Do you guys want a lobotomy that only replays the intensive treatment theme song in your head every couple seconds? Do 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 do.
Or no, we'll play them that TikTok remix. I don't know if you saw that. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know that I saw that.
I'll send you it later,
Oh,
and you can
please.
edit it in.
Hell yeah. Awesome. But guys, as for me, that's all I have to say.
All right. So that said, we'll see you guys for episode 50 here soon, and also be sure to stay locked up as always.